Hello-y-ho-ha, it is I, Cjsgoose, and welcome to episode 6 of Gooseville. Most of today's episode is in accelerated mode due to cramming lots in for you. I finally decided to work out where to build my house. I am going straight to my main house rather than a starter one, and I realised the location I had in mind near my starter base was rather far away from the Guardians after all. So what better way to build than to have a totally flat surface? I utilised a lily pad to begin the epic lava placing expedition. I think I saw that on a mumbo jumbo video, which I am very grateful for. If you ever need to build on water, use a lily pad first. I sometimes use the kelp when it is near the surface too. In case you were unaware, placing lava above the water creates stone, and this will provide us with the perfect platform to build on. It took me many hours to place all of the lava, and I tried to light it up along the way, whilst continuously having to defend myself. The mobs kept trying to visit me, and I did try to warn them that the lava was hot or the water was too deep. But they just wouldn't listen to me, and either disappeared under the ocean for it to suddenly seal up behind them, or the lava sauna that the zombies and zombie villager tried was just a fraction too hot for them. After the platform was built, taking up a whole map, that has something to do with how big my house is. Yes, it basically just fits on it. I headed to the cattle farm and needed to provide some more room for our lovely cows. It had nothing to do with needing more space to breed them so I could cull them easier. It was all about the ethics and providing lots of room for my cows to enjoy more freedom. No, that is not beef in my hand. It's burnt tofu. The fences from the mine shaft came in very handy for this project. Be free, little cows. After this, I continued fishing to gain more loot and XP. I'm still hoping to obtain mending. And whilst here, I will remind you my pony still does not have a name. So leave me some suggestions in the comments so we can make him or her feel at home. Next, I wanted to start a few little farms. This one here is for the glowberries. Just a simple row of dirt from which I can hang the berries. I'm a fraction shorter than I would like to be, but we made it in the end. I had already set up a quick dripstone farm, and next I wanted to create a kelp farm. I love kelp. It is a very useful block. So I dug deep down and set up the pistons. Next, I obtained more water and filled in the bottom. But shortly after realised I should have changed the block so I do not accidentally break through from below. changing blocks to wool or something that is not naturally forming, such as the polished granite, really helps. I made my water source more reliable and added water from above to drip downwards. The kelp will turn them into sources as it grows. Next, to make it all work, I added note blocks behind the pistons to carry the signal through. Look at me, sounding like an expert. I am really not, but I hope to improve as I love its capabilities. Soon, I had to dig my way to the surface, and whilst there, thought the drown was being too noisy, and somehow, my sword must have slipped many times and accidentally killed the llamas. I created some stairs for the redstone in the kelp farm, and, for whatever stupid reason, decided to jump down a hole, straight into the depths below, and died. I made a bucket and used the water to help me down. Dug out a little more, removed the copper, and added lots more redstone. Coming back to the surface, I added a quick lava pool to the dripstone, helping the fuel situation, and ready to make the platform. You will notice I have recorded this a little out of order as I made this area first. For the kelp farm, I needed repeaters as the distance was so great, and connected the top to the 2 observers, as I do not have the materials free at the moment. But they will trigger all of the pistons, so that won't be an issue. The idea is the kelp reaches the observers and triggers a piston below, harvesting it. The next giant task of the day was to begin placing the blocks for the foundations of my new house. I made several errors along the way, meaning blocks would be placed and removed and then put back in again. I originally used sand, then remembered there are these rather tall, annoying beasties in this world that enjoy stealing my blocks, so I changed it up. I needed to ensure areas were correct, so to ensure that was the case, I crossed blocks across the middle, helping me to correct any errors. I had plenty of deep slate, and the beasties cannot remove those, leaving me to utilise it for the foundations. And the wooden and sandstone areas would be replaced with dark oak and quartz when we build. When checking for errors in the counting, I would often place sand on top of the blocks I had placed to recount and know if any are placed under or over. Survival is helpful for this, as you can place the exact amount of blocks in your hand and place them until they run out. Unless you do what I often do and then press the pick block button and automatically refill, forgetting to stop. Temporary blocks would be removed, and I am finding the time lapses difficult to create, so please bear with me whilst I try to improve upon them. I do find this layout very tricky and kept making errors, so on occasions I would add another block type, such as gravel, to help, and standing above can also be very helpful. We have not visited the end yet, so we have no elytra to help. once the first line was completed, the next was started. And far too many mobs tried to kill me. I needed to retreat. The diagonal lines really paid off, as I could see there were yet more mistakes. I can never understand how I make so many, but I do, and I will get there eventually. I took some time out to watch the mobs trying to kill me again, and then headed back to the first section that was once again wrong. This time I used cobblestone to aid me. think it is important to understand that mistakes happen in all walks of life, and Minecraft is no different. It is about how we go about resolving it that is important. I didn't give up or have a tantrum. I may have been frustrated with myself, but I took a few breaths and continued. Taking sand through the centre helped to ensure I stopped making mistakes. In the meantime, I thought I would say hello to the wandering leather and lead factory, but he didn't have anything I wanted, although I am thinking of a project with coral and do not like the idea of destroying a reef, so may come back for those one day when I have more emeralds. They were not very chatty, so I said goodbye and continued working. The map in my hand, although faint, starts to give the idea of what I'm hoping to achieve. Oh, I obtained a lead after all. Totally not my fault that time. I realised I could switch out some of the oak for dark oak, as I had used logs in places and can turn those into planks, giving a better representation. Lastly, I climbed up high to see the results. This is going to be my first giant build and will take me a huge amount of time to gather the resources together, so it will not be built anytime soon. I just wanted to see where it would go. This gives you a better view of the scale. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.